The internet went into chaos. One photo, one sentence, and suddenly, Yaman was trending across the world again. The post appeared without warning, late at night, just a single black and white image on his Instagram. No caption, no explanation, only the haunting words, "A new chapter begins." Within minutes, millions had seen it. Fans flooded the comments with questions, heart emojis, and endless speculation. Was he announcing a new project? Hinting at a relationship? Or was it something much more personal, a hidden message about everything he had been through? The photo itself was mysterious. It showed Can walking alone down a narrow street, hands in his pockets, his figure half shadowed by the street lights. There was no city name, no tag, just silence. But that silence spoke louder than any press release ever could. People immediately noticed the tone. It wasn't the confident, glamorous Yaman the world was used to seeing. This post felt raw, stripped down, intimate, and honest. It was as if he was closing one door and opening another. The phrase "a new chapter begins" started trending across social media. Fans from Turkey, Italy, Spain, and beyond tried to decode it. Some said it was about his new role in an international series, others believed it was something much deeper, a goodbye to his past, maybe even to someone he had loved. One fan commented, "He's not just promoting something. This feels personal. You can see it in the photo, he's letting go." Another wrote, "Maybe he's done pretending to be okay." In the hours that followed, media outlets picked up the story. Headlines appeared everywhere. Yaman's mysterious post sends fans into frenzy. What is the actor really trying to say? New chapter or new love? But those who had followed his journey closely, the heartbreaks, the silences, the rumors, the emotional interviews, knew that this post carried more weight than simple promotion. For years, Ken had been defined by noise. Cameras flashing, tabloids chasing, fans analyzing his every move. This time, he was saying nothing, and that nothing was everything. The image itself became a symbol. Some fans edited it into posters, others wrote poems inspired by it. On TikTok, thousands used his phrase "a new chapter begins" to share their own stories of change and healing. It was as if his quiet moment had become a universal mirror, everyone saw their own reflection in it. Insiders close to the actor confirmed that he had been more introspective lately. "He's been writing a lot," one source said. "Not scripts, not statements, just thoughts. He's changed." That word, changed, was exactly what fans felt when they looked at that post. Gone was the man trying to prove himself. What they saw instead was someone reborn, an artist, a human being, standing alone but finally at peace with his past. But then, just when people thought it was a poetic goodbye, a new detail emerged that no one had noticed before, something hidden in the shadows of the photo that would ignite a whole new wave of speculation. At first glance, the image seemed simple, just a quiet photo of Yaman walking alone. But fans, as always, looked closer. Too close. Within hours, the internet detectives were zooming in, brightening the shadows, and dissecting every pixel of the post. And that's when they found it. In the far corner of the image, blurred but unmistakable, there was a faint reflection in a shop window. It wasn't a random shape, it looked like a woman's silhouette. Someone standing just behind him, barely visible, as if watching him walk away. That tiny detail set the internet on fire. Thousands of comments flooded in. Who's the woman in the reflection? Is that a hint? A memory? He never posts something accidental. Some fans swore the reflection looked familiar, claiming the outline resembled Demet Özdemir, the woman whose name had followed Ken for years, through love rumors, heartbreaks, and silence. Others insisted it couldn't be her, that it was just the illusion of light. But the timing, the mood, the tone, everything felt too deliberate to be a coincidence. Entertainment pages exploded with speculation. Can's post sparks wild theories, hidden message to Demet. Mysterious figure in viral photo leaves fans in shock. Coincidence or confession? Even major Italian and Turkish outlets joined the frenzy, analyzing the image like it was evidence in a mystery film. Some experts argued it was part of a new project's marketing strategy, but others, especially his longtime followers, knew that Can's posts often carried emotional layers hidden behind simplicity. A well-known journalist wrote, "For someone like Can Yaman, who speaks rarely but chooses his words carefully, a single photo can mean more than an interview." That reflection might not be a person. It might be a memory, something, or someone, he's still walking away from. The idea struck deep. Could "a new chapter begins" actually mean I'm finally letting go? One fan commented under the post, "Maybe the new chapter begins when you stop turning back." The comment received over 20,000 likes. As the theory spread, the silence from Can made it even more mysterious. He didn't clarify, didn't respond. He let the world talk, just as he always had. But behind that silence, something else was happening. A source close to him revealed that Can had been reflecting on everything that had happened over the past few years, the pressure, the noise, the endless scrutiny. He's been through a lot quietly, the source said. He's not angry anymore. Just tired. But ready to move forward. And maybe that was what the photo truly symbolized, not a secret romance, not a publicity stunt, but a farewell. A soft, silent goodbye to the man he used to be. Still, the reflection mystery refused to fade. Fans continued debating it for days, and the comment sections turned into emotional battlegrounds. Some defended him, saying he deserved peace, others demanded answers. But then something unexpected happened, another post appeared. A short video clip. No sound, no caption. Just Can sitting by the sea at sunset, looking out toward the horizon. For a split second, he turned toward the camera and smiled. The screen then faded to black, followed by the same words as before, "A new chapter begins." Except this time, fans noticed something different, a single white feather drifting across the frame before disappearing into the wind. And with that, the mystery deepened even more. The feather became the symbol of everything. In just a few hours, screenshots of the video flooded social media, the white feather floating softly across the screen as Can gazed at the horizon. Fans froze the clip, replayed it, slowed it down, trying to understand what it meant. On Twitter, hashtags exploded, hashtag the feather message, hashtag Can Yaman new chapter, hashtag what does it mean Can. Within a day, the post hit millions of views. Everyone had a theory. Some said it was a message of rebirth, the feather representing freedom, lightness, the shedding of past burdens. Others believed it was a tribute, a sign of forgiveness or a final goodbye to someone he once cared for deeply. And then there were those who connected it to something far more personal. Fans who had followed Can for years remembered an old interview from his early career. Back then, a much younger Can had said something that suddenly resurfaced online. In that interview, he had smiled shyly and said, "Whenever I see a white feather, I take it as a sign that I'm on the right path, that everything will be okay." And now, years later, that same white feather appeared in his video. The discovery broke the internet. People began sharing clips of that old interview side by side with his new post, writing captions like, "He's healing. He found peace. The feather is his way of saying he's okay." But there were also those who saw something deeper. Perhaps even bittersweet. "The feather isn't just about peace," one fan wrote. "It's about letting go of someone you still think about." The emotion spread like wildfire. Major magazines in both Italy and Turkey picked up the story. The feather that moved millions, Can Yaman's silent message breaks hearts worldwide. Soon, his management had to step in. His representative gave a short but telling statement to the press. Can wanted to share something personal, something about transformation and growth. There's no campaign, no hidden agenda. It's simply his way of saying he's ready for what comes next. That didn't stop the theories, it only made them stronger. The video became one of his most shared posts ever. Fans wrote thousands of comments thanking him for inspiring them to start over, to move on from their own pain. One wrote, "Sometimes you don't need to speak to touch hearts. He said more in silence than words ever could." Meanwhile, entertainment blogs speculated that this might be Can's soft reintroduction to the world, a signal that after all the drama, rumors, and heartbreak, he was reclaiming his voice. Not through interviews or declarations, but through subtle, poetic gestures that spoke of maturity. And yet, among the millions of comments, one stood out, a message left by a verified account everyone recognized. It simply said, "New chapters begin when you finally stop reading the same page." The username was blurred in the screenshots circulating online, but fans who saw it early swore it belonged to Demet Özdemir. The post was deleted minutes later. But the damage, or the magic, was already done. The internet erupted once more. Was it real? Was it staged? Or was it, at last, the quiet reconciliation everyone had been hoping for? Whatever it was, one thing was clear: the story of Yaman wasn't ending, it was just beginning again. After the deleted comment, everything spiraled into a storm once again. Screenshots spread like wildfire, fan pages turned into war zones, and every media outlet, from Istanbul to Milan, ran with the headline, "Did Demet just respond to Yaman's post?" For days, that single moment became the heartbeat of the internet. Reporters camped outside studios, fans flooded both their profiles, and speculation reached unbearable levels. Yet, as always, Yaman remained silent. He didn't confirm, he didn't deny, he simply moved forward. But those close to him said something had shifted. He looked lighter, one assistant from his team shared. He wasn't running anymore. It's like he finally made peace with everything, with her, with himself, with the past. In the following weeks, a new tone began to appear in his social media. No cryptic captions this time, just moments of stillness. A sunrise over the Bosphorus. A book resting on a cafe table. A simple cup of coffee with the words, "Good morning, world." It wasn't about fame anymore. It was about peace. Fans noticed it too. The comments changed from wild speculation to gentle encouragement. "We see your growth. You look free." The new chapter really began. One evening, during a rare live Q&A event in Rome, a young fan asked the question everyone wanted answered: was the post about her? Can smiled, that soft, knowing smile that carried both warmth and mystery. "It was about life," he said. "About accepting what you can't change, and being thankful for what once was." The audience fell silent. For a brief second, his eyes glistened under the stage lights, and everyone could feel the weight of his words. It wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't an act. It was closure, honest, human, and deeply moving. When the event ended, he didn't post a press photo or a quote. Instead, he shared one last image, a breathtaking shot of the sea at sunset. The caption read only, "For every ending, there's a horizon." The photo went viral instantly. But this time, there was no frenzy, no chaos. Just quiet admiration. Fans across the world shared it, writing messages about healing, moving on, and second chances. In Istanbul, a few days later, Demet posted something too, a photo of her standing by the window of a film set, the sky painted in the same orange hue as his. Her caption simply read, "Peace looks good on you." She didn't tag anyone. She didn't need to. It was the full circle moment everyone had been waiting for, not a reunion, not drama, but mutual understanding. The past had been heavy, the journey long, but both of them had finally reached a place where they could breathe again. And just like that, what had started as a viral mystery turned into something far more meaningful, a quiet story of growth, forgiveness, and the beauty of letting go. Months later, when asked in an interview what a new chapter truly meant, Kim paused for a long time before answering. He looked thoughtful, calm, at peace. "It means knowing that life doesn't wait for you to be ready," he said softly. "It just keeps moving. And if you don't learn to move with it, you'll be stuck reading the same page forever." The interviewer smiled and asked, "So, are you happy now?" Ken looked away for a second, as if replaying everything, the success, the heartbreak, the silence, the peace, before answering. "I'm not searching anymore. That's happiness." That line became the headline of the week. But for those who had followed his journey, it was more than just a quote, it was a declaration. He had turned his pain into wisdom, his chaos into calm, his silence into strength. That night, he walked through the quiet streets of Rome again, the same kind of night that had once inspired that mysterious post months before. The lights shimmered on the cobblestones, the air was soft, and this time, there was no shadow following him. Just him, lighter, freer, walking toward the horizon of his new life. And for the first time in a long time, the story of King Yaman didn't feel like a mystery or a heartbreak. It felt like peace,